This is lesson number 29 in the Paint with Lens series of short lessons. This will be a painting of the forest, and we'll have sun shining through, have the sun beaming in here onto the leaves on the ground. I'll pick up some white with a brush and brush in what will be the undercoat for the background. That's acrylic white paint. It's creamy. It's coming off the brush rather well today. Well, we'll keep our horizon line up high on this one, rather high. Crisscross, 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 and get your undercoat on. I just put a little bit more up there because it's a bit thin. And then we'll have some pretty colours in the background. A little bit of cobalt blue, just a little bit. Crisscross, crisscross is a 2-inch house painting brush. And a bit of crimson that gives a bit of colour in there. That's pretty. Yeah. And maybe because the sun's coming from this area, we'll put just a little bit of warm yellow. That's probably a cadmium yellow in oils. I'm using acrylics there. And then we need some bushes in the background. So here I'll mix the two colours together. The blue and the crimson will give me a dark colour. Now the crimson are very strong, so I'll mix the two together about like that. And a little bit of raw sienna in there will turn it into a grey. And I'll clean that brush, get a bit of the white off it, pick up some of our darker colours. Yeah, we can load it with a bit of yellow on the edge there, see what happens. And that'll give us some darker colours in the distance there. I want it a little bit darker than that. Now there's a colour I haven't put in yet, and that's green. That's the Viridian green. I'll clean my knife, and we'll add that into the yellow to give us the greens. A bit of white. So that's Viridian green in there, and the green. And that gives us a bit of raw sienna and a bit of grey because there's a bit of a background, so we'll go back a bit further. We'll take it back there so it's not quite so bright. And again, I'll keep using this big brush, a bit of light and a bit of dark on it too. And then I can dab in my darks again. And when the green comes off there, now it's quite background, it's not much in the foreground. Like that, rather dull. A little bit of light come through it. Just enough like that. Nothing much happening. Now I'm going to keep it up there, that's right. I'll pick up a few more bits of bright, and we'll have a few bright bits here and there. Not much. Just a little bit. Like that. And on the other side, we'll pick up the darks and bright. Put a little white in there and a bit more dark, and then there, let that overlap that one, yeah, there, and this side, a pretty light coming through the trees there. Okay, and we'll have a horizon line about there. That's above the centre line. In fact, I might even take it up higher. I'll pick up some burnt sienna and put it in there to give us some browny soil colours. Plenty of blue and some crimson on top. There, crisscross, crisscross. And that's our undercoat for the ground there. It's quite dark. I think the Viridian green would go well in there too. Put a bit of that in there. There, that's quite dark. Now, I don't think I'll use that brush anymore on this painting, it's quite messy. So with another big brush, I'll dab that out a bit because I do want it to look a long way away. Take it back there. There. And back to my dirty brush again. I want this line to come up higher. Right there. I think that'll work quite well. Straight. That's our undercoat. Now again with our bright brush, our dirty old brush, load it with that. And then some bright colours. Let's bring the palette knife in and make some very bright colours down here. Yellow, that's bright. Now that's warm red, that's not crimson, that's warm red. We'll put in there. Ooh, that looks nice and bright. And maybe a little bit of blue, yeah. I rather like this green in there too. A lot of nice bright colours. There, clean the knife before you mix all these darks together to give us the dark. Everything's from light to dark. Now, it's not quite enough blue in that area. We'll keep it blue here. We'll use that blue there. So we've got a bit of dark on the knife brush. We'll pick up some more, and I'll pick up these clean colours, crispy, see? And with that, we'll dab, 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 dab. Right on the back here, that, and then come down a bit, all over the ground, and again. It's running out of colour. That's all right, because some of this area hasn't got the bright on it. If you want to look at it down here, like that, all over, like that. A bit more dark, and some nice brights about those colours. They look nice. Come in a bit closer now. Go over it and deliberately put the dabs nice and bright. All the brightness has gone off the brush. That's all right. We'll keep making this motley effect with the brush with no paint on it. There. Now I'll load it again with the brights, and we should get some brights out of this like this. Not too many. I'd like to see some bright yellow there. So pick up a bit of bright yellow and put some bright yellows right about here, and then have a bright sunlight bit right there. Not bright enough. A little bit of white on top of that. There. You'll rather like that bit. Let's bring another one down through here. And when we put our trees in, some of these will be the brights. Now down in the corner I've loaded with a lot of darks and brights. We'll have a little bit. It's a different colour, so be careful. We'll try and keep it all the same if we can. And I'd like to see some reds in there. So load a bit of red, a bit of white. There's some reds. We'll put some reds here and there through there. There. Try not to destroy our very brights. Okay, in the brush. Now, at the back there I want some very brights. Just a little bit. I'll turn the brush over now and get the brights on this side because I want to have it deliberately where I want it. A few brights along there. That'll do. Clean the brush. And dab out all the bits that are not bright, make them dark. So you either got bright or dark. No half and half. Brush too dirty, clean the brush. Dark. They might have to go darker again there. We'll see what happens. Now, let's paint in the big tree trunks. For that, I need more blue and some more crimson because I want it very dark. And a spot of raw sienna will turn it into a grey rather than a purple. With the knife, mix them together. I don't want any of that white getting in there. I've got the messiest palette in the world, but it doesn't matter. You can be much more tidier than I am. Still not dark enough. To make it very dark, I'll add some burnt sienna. Burnt sienna will make it very dark. There we go. That'll do. Pick up some of the darks with a flat brush, and then where's that tree going to go? Well, we've got to have to have one somewhere, so let's just put one there, right there. Okay, and another one. Ooh, another one here. Clean the brush. You got plenty of paint. I'll give one here. Clean the brush. And all that area there looks like it wants one. Well, I think I prefer to keep them straight because this will be a straight tree forest. Keep it straight. There. There. So it needs to be the same thickness all the way down, slightly thicker at the bottom, not much. Load the brush again. one straight. He comes out the bottom a bit. Well, maybe he should come down further on that one. Like that. This one stops there, so I'll fix that up later. There. And this one dark and straight in the brush. And with the edge of the brush, you can have one here. Oh, I picked up too much colour there. Now, I know it's in the distance, but I do want it dark. And another one. Another little one, say there. What have we got? I think I need another one in the background back there somewhere. I don't want to make them 1, 2, 3, 4, but okay, there's one there. I've got a habit of doing them crooked. We do want them straight though. And another one there, straight. Okay. At this point it'd be better now if that paint dried. So I'll put a bit more on to make it darker. Clean the brush. Clean the brush. Pick up only the dark paint. No good. And on this side, it needs to be very dark. And of course, there's a shadow for that. We need to put some dab-dabs in there because we don't want, I want that colour to go through there. Like that. And then I'll darken this one. Ooh, he's got bigger. That's alright. There, he's bigger. He comes down and then shadow. So I need to darken that bit there. I'll touch this shadow up so it's perfect. Shadow. Shadows go in the same direction every time. And then this tree, let's do a bit to him and shadow. That's okay. There, straight on the bottom. There. Okay. Now, see we've done that. I think this one can come down here now. Yeah. We'll have your shadow there. So we've got to get him right here. There. Okay, now there's a bit of touching up to do around here. And the background one. Bring him down. And his shadow as behind all these, it actually comes right through here. There. And the others have a shadow, but not too prominent. Something like that. Okay, now I want this tree to be dark because it's on the edge of the picture. I want it to be very dark. Stop you looking over there. Now with a great big scruffy brush, pick up some more colours and touch up where we've missed out here and there. And we've got to come back and darken all this later. It's not quite what we want, a little bit of light here, and that's it. Now while I'm waiting for that to dry a bit, I'll put some branches there, but not many, just a couple. So I'll load the brush with light and dark, and let's have a branch coming off that one. Maybe we didn't have that light. I'll put the branches up here first. A bit of light and a bit of dark on the brush. A few branches, a few trees in the background there. There's a little forest up there somewhere. In here. don't know what's back there, but we won't detail it too much. There, they look a bit odd. I think they should be, if one goes right up, that'll be better. There. And let's have a light up the side of that tree. And with this little brush, by rolling it off the side, I can run a little bit of sunlight right on the edge of that tree. A little bit hitting there, not much. There's a bit on this tree, so there's a bit there. And we can imagine a bit of sun there, which will help because the bit of that tree is not very straight. Okay, now I would like that distant area to be dark. It's a bit too bright. So with this hog bristle brush, a bit of blue, a bit of dark, we'll dull that down. Leave a little bit of light showing, but just dull it down a bit because we don't want to see too much back there. We want this area bright. And to get this area bright, we must dull down the background. Make it rather dull. In there especially. You don't want you looking off the edge there. That's better. A bit more dark and dull it down. Dull. There. And we'll try and make this rather straight, like the light shining right past one of those trees somewhere. There. And I might dull all this down. I think I'll make this bottom rather dull. It's dark in there. And a few reds, because the reds are not going to show up so much. And I'll go dark again. Very dark. These ones. Right, but the bright I want it in the middle. So I'll dull a lot of this down too, knock it back a bit. So the duller we make this, the brighter the rest will be. Hold it on the ground. On the ground there, but you can't see it because it's dark. Ooh, a few too many lights there, knocked them out. Now I need to wait for it to dry a little bit because I want to put some light beaming through there. If the wet's, it's too wet, it's going to sort of blur. So it's about 10 minutes I've given that. Yeah, it's dry there now. That white there is wet, so I'll get rid of that because I don't want it dragging across too much. And that's pretty dry. That's wet there, so we'll avoid that bit. Now with my fan brush, and we'll try and find some yellow, a bit of yellow. There's some yellow there. So I've got some white and yellow on the brush. Okay, just a little bit of paint. A little bit of paint on that fan brush. Now, I've loaded it on that side, but I think there's too much there, so let's go on this side. And we'll get some sunlight shining through here. And it's coming through like that. I'll clean the brush because I know it's dirty and pick up some more sunlight. And we'll shine it through again and come through like that. Clean the brush. Again, pick it up and come through the same angle. Let's have a hint of it coming through here. And I would like to see a little bit more of it on this area. So, littlest bit on the brush again. There. Ooh, I'm tempted to do that, but I won't. And there'll be a little bit shining, I'd say, be coming right across there. Now, with our flat brush, pick up some dark and block out this tree here. Because that tree's in front of that dark. Go back again and go over that tree. There. I think my paint's picked up a little bit too much there. Take it back, 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 back. There. And that's what I didn't want. There's too much happening there. So I might have to do that bit again later. And define that really well, that dark bit there. There it is. There. And I'm going to have to knock that bit off there because I don't like it. A bit more dark. There. And I like the hole in that tree. We'll fix that up. Let's see how that looks. Up close, you see how the light's shining through there. And take it back. Okay, let's take our masking tape off and see how it looks. It's not a hard painting, but you do need to wait till that paint dries before you drag your sunlight through there. Now if I take my painting knife and load the edge with some dark, I can make that look like the light shining off the bark. Yeah, that'll do. Well, that's an easy lesson for you. Take your time. Make sure you do wait for your tree trunks to dry before you put your light beams over. You can paint this in oil or acrylic. Come and visit me on my website. There's lots of tricks and tips about painting in oil or acrylic. paintwithlen.com